Section 11.4, Day 2, Compound Events. Write down the essential question. How do I use a Venn diagram to find a probability? Example 1. Of 1,560 students surveyed, 840 were seniors and 630 read a daily paper. The rest of the students were juniors. Only 215 of the paper readers were juniors. What is the probability that a student was a senior or read a daily paper? So first thing is this. When you're doing a probability where you're using a Venn diagram, you're looking at the probability that you're trying to find. We're trying to find that a probability that a student was a senior or read a daily paper. And that's why our Venn diagram is set up with two different sections, one for seniors and one for paper readers. I like to put a big box around this to represent our entire sample space, which is 1,560. So the first thing I like to do is fill in the information that we know. Number 1, we know that there are 840 seniors. That below that circle, and there are 630 paper readers. It also said out of the 1,560 students surveyed, we know 840 of them are seniors, so therefore the remainder are going to be juniors. How do we find that? 1,560 minus 840 is 720. So they told us that if we scroll up, 215 of the paper readers were juniors. So that's why the 215 is in the yellow shaded spot and not inside this circle, because everything inside this circle are seniors. So if we can figure out this overlap part by taking the total number of paper readers, and we can subtract off the 215 of them that are juniors. When we do that, we get 415, and that will go in there. Those are the seniors that are paper readers. Well, if we know we have 840 seniors and 415 of them are paper readers, that tells us that 425 of them are not paper readers. So what's going to happen on this outside part, because first of all, let's go through, obviously 425 plus 415 is going to be 840, and 215 plus 415 is 630. So what's in this circle are seniors, paper readers. So everything outside here are basically going to be the juniors that are not paper readers. So this whole thing represents 1,560. We're ready to do our probability. So the probability that a student was a senior, well, 425 are seniors out of 1,560, or read a daily paper. Well, how many people are reading a daily paper? 630 out of 1,560, and we subtract off the overlap. And when we do that, we take the oh my goodness gracious, we need to rewind a minute, Miss Young. This isn't right. 840 of them are seniors. I apologize for that. Why I wrote that. Okay, so let's go back and talk about that. The first probability is the probability that a student was a senior. There are 840 out of 1,560 that are seniors, 630 are paper readers, and we subtract off the overlap. So 840 plus 630 minus 415 is going to give us, and I can reduce that to get 211 over 312. What we just found was the probability that a student was a senior or read a daily paper? So again, I apologize for my little mess up here. I grabbed the 425 there by mistake. And no, always this first one is the total of the first circle divided by your grand total plus the total of the second circle divided by your grand total, and then subtract off the overlap. All right. We're going to do example 2 in class. And now I'm going to do this example 3 that you do not have in your notes. So you need to write it in your notes. So if you have to pause the video right now, you can. We are going to go through and shade each of the following Venn diagrams to represent the following. So first of all, if I'm asking you to shade where A prime is, that basically means please shade everything in this Venn diagram that is not in A. So the complement of A. What does that mean? Well, everything out here is not in A. So I shade all this. This, I can shade that part because that's not in A. And there we have it. I shaded everything not in A. Let's go over to this one. We are talking about A intersect B and the complement of that. What if I just did A intersect B? Well, obviously A intersect B is that. So the complement then is going to be everything that's not in there. Which is going to be everything out there. There we go. And the last one here, notice it looks really similar to B, but there's no parentheses. And one thing I should mention to make sure you recall this symbol means intersection. It's where the two overlap, where they intersect. This means union. So on part C, I'm talking about, I want to know the intersection of A with B prime. So let's first do this. Let's highlight where is B prime? Well, B prime is everything out here and out here. B prime is everything that is not in B. So if I want to now figure out, well, what's the intersection of A and all of this yellow stuff? Well, that would have to be right in here. That's the only spot where they intersect. So let's go back now and we will write that. So A intersect B prime is just this stuff right there. I'm going to quickly, don't want any of this highlighted. Okay, I'm just doing a double check here. I think everything looks good. Yep. And video questions. Please write those answers in your notes.